Dr. Samawa was appointed as Georgia Piedmont Technical College's president on September 1st, 2012. He is the third president of the college to preside during its 51 years as a student-centered environment for lifelong learning and development. Dr. Samama earned his PhD in American Studies from Emory University, his master's from Atlanta University, which is now Clark Atlanta, and his bachelor's from the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. He is the author of the highly acclaimed book, From Civil Rights to Cyber Rights. Ron Jackson, Commissioner, Technical College System of Georgia, said he was impressed with Jabari Samama's experience, knowledge of the community, and vision for the college. Dr. Samama has a strong background in management that crosses a broad spectrum of executive roles in higher education, government administration, and the private sector. His diverse experience, coupled with his deep ties to the local community and a strong passion for higher education, makes him the perfect person to inspire us today. Now, if you could please welcome to the stage the man himself, Dr. Jabari Samama.
I said, good afternoon, graduates. I am delighted to be here today and to celebrate this wonderful moment in your lives. And I'd like to thank Principal Michelle Jones, good friend of mine. We've worked together before in the past and will continue to work in the future, for extending an invitation to share a few words with the 2014 Clarkston High School senior graduating class. And I got good news for you, and I got some bad news for you. All right. But let me give you the good news first. The good news is that you've endured the hassle, if one could call all the hard work and dedication and commitment a hassle. And on Tuesday, you will have the privilege of flipping from one side to the other the tassel. So I want you right now to raise your hand if you believe the tassel was worth the hassle. Amen, amen. It absolutely was. Now, all of you know that to get to where you are today, that it took a whole lot of support from a whole lot of people. Your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your sisters, your brothers. You did not get to where you are without all this support. The support of your teachers, the support of the staff, the administration at this school. Now, right now, before we go any further, I want you to give it up for your mom and your dad and the school administrators and the counselors, and for all of those who loved you, for all those who loved you, and for all those who nurtured you, and for all those who prayed for you that this day would come. One more time, give a round of applause to all of those who helped you reach this day. Now, just a little bit about the bad news, and remember, bad and good is just really a matter of perspective. But here's what I'm talking about. By the year 2020, which is just 6 short years from now, the degree that you will receive on Tuesday won't be worth a whole lot. It has nothing to do with the fine education and the fine educators who worked with you and who nurtured you. But by 2020, 6 short years from now, almost 70%, that's 7 out of 10 of the jobs will require some higher education beyond a high school diploma. So graduates, I say to you today very sincerely and very soberly, the high school graduation is only your ticket into the theater of life, if you will. The movie will start when you complete some form of higher education. Now, having said that, I do not want anyone here to think that college is out of bounds for you, outside of what you're capable of doing personally or intellectually or financially. I say to you this because I stand here today before you as a son raised by a single parent, my mother. I'm a man who was raised in poverty, who grew up in a home with only cold water inside, but no inside toilets, no hot water. A 3-room flat that housed 2 adults and 3 children. My front and my backyard consisted of black dirt. Now I know in Georgia we have red clay. No grass anywhere in sight. I was so ashamed of where I lived when I rode my bike through our neighborhood. I would point out the best looking house in the vicinity and I would tell my friends, this is where I lived. And my story is a familiar one of millions of poor black boys and girls stung by the stigma of poverty. And I had to deal with very low expectations of others of how far I could rise from such humble beginnings. But I'm here to tell you today that if you want something bad enough, no one can keep you from getting it. And only your attitude can limit your altitude. And let me say that again. Only your attitude can limit your altitude. You ought to say that with me. Only your can limit your. Said another way to paraphrase the Bible, if a man, and may I add woman, believeth he or she is, if you believe it, you can achieve it. So I believed that I could be a top percussionist, and I thought about my time as a percussionist when I listened to the band do that wonderful rendition. I wanted to be a top percussionist. I wanted to be a top drummer. So I learned to be a concert drummer around the 3rd grade and became one of the best in my city. I believed that I could be a star football player and win a college athletic scholarship, and I did. I believed that I could break my school's 440-yard dash called 400 meters today by my junior year in high school, and I did, and I believed that I could finish my doctoral degree right here in DeKalb County at Emory University in 3 years at the tender age of 27. And I did. It was my attitude that determined my altitude, and so it will be with you. No excuses, no copping out, no blaming others or your personal conditions. Your attitude will determine your. By saying this, I don't mean that all your successes will be handed to you on a silver platter. You know that's not the case. There will be rough spots, and there will be crooked places, and you must navigate carefully through all this. But your attitude will allow you to stay focused and keep moving forward as others around you might be inclined to quit before they reach the finish line. Your attitude will give you resilience to bounce back if you face a temporary defeat. Keep moving forward until you reach the end. And when you reach your goal, don't forget the many others along the way who help you get to where you are. Be like a Sankofa bird that returns home to help bring those forward who have been left behind. My college, Georgia Piedmont Technical College, right across the street, operates under the philosophy of a Sankofa bird. We believe we have a moral obligation to leave no one behind. We believe that you, our students, our faculty, and our staff alike must, as we move forward, not leave anyone behind. And this is why we have the state's largest adult education program. If you have a parent or a sibling who did not finish high school, we can help them get their GED and afterwards hopefully go to college. If you need learning support in order to get to college or math, we have it. If you enter certain occupations like early childhood, information technology, nursing, welding, commercial truck driving, we have a special tuition grant to write down the cost of your education. We would love to have all of you at our college, but we know that's not realistic. But we want to see all of you in college somewhere, if not at our college. On Tuesday, you begin the first step of a long journey. Remember this if you don't remember anything else. Your attitude will determine your altitude. And once you reach your destination, be like a Sankofa bird. Return to help those who've been left behind. Thank you, and may God bless you.